Well, the big question is, how would these things get produced? Printing things take money. Do you have any kind of budget that the pieces they design can actually get produced?
Yes, yes, we do have a printing budget.
Is it open-ended?
It is the printing budget. I just came back from a budget meeting.
What's the dollar amount?
Well, and that's what
You have a dollar amount to work with.
there's a dollar amount to work with.
Good. Because I would encourage my students that they take what resources they have and make the messaging work according to that. And of course, they can be more creative to make that dollar go farther depending on how the design will be.
For a print piece, to have a print piece reproduced, what is the cost of that? I mean, what would be, if I had a print piece and I said, okay, this is a CSN information, what would be the typical cost of that?
The typical cost, are you talking about on Xerox paper, just Xeroxed off? What
Yes.
is it, a nickel a sheet?
It's
Go
5
into that.
cents a sheet.
You're talking color, you're talking the more glossy stock, see, let me ask you, what do you envision as the attraction of this program, other than it's accelerated, of course? What quality of program do you see? Do you see a Xerox quality program? Do you see a full color glossy? How professional is this? What image do you want to take? Or is it just, I need to just get the information out any way, shape, or form?
That's a good question, because I ideally would love to see every communication about the accelerated be a glossy, absolutely
budget's
top.
probably not there.
The budget hasn't been there. However, the current budget that we have does have some print to say, okay, we can do some print materials.
Do you have any non-CSN patrons? Do you work with the business community since you're preparing students for the business community? Do you have any sponsors or developers or people who work with you?
Actually, I was just meeting with someone last week. We're working on that. Not at this point, because it was funded by Nevada. It was funded by the feds through Nevada System of Higher Education. So there's a scholarship. Yes, it was a grant program. And this is the third year that this has happened. And that's why we were talking about earlier about how students already would not be that excited about it, but students don't know about it. The word still isn't out via website, via print, via the TVs that are on campus. We still don't have any campaigns, haven't done anything.
Well, why couldn't the public information or communications office, what's the name of it, the CSN's PR office,
Mm-hmm.
what do they call that now?
The PR office, I don't know what they call it.
Why can't they work on stuff like this?
Because, well, we haven't had, when we first started this, we hadn't had we've just now identified that we know the audience really is current CSN students, and we haven't had them, I really haven't reached out to say, I want to have this developed.
But
I don't think they have the resources to take the information that we have, spend the time to actually just make something that looks like a CSN student will want it. And quite frankly, I'd rather have a CSN student say, this is what another CSN student wants to see. Because I can look at something and say, I think that looks good, but I'd like to have a student say, this looks good. Another student will like this. I wanted to have Jacksonville. I wanted to have a lot of interest. I want another student to have it be catchy, both the online presence and the print presence. And I don't think it'll take much. I don't think this isn't everything looks so great now. It's just too intimidating.
When did this program start?
It's in its third year now. So
Third year?
It's a third year. Yes.
Yes, this is a secret.
It is.
So
It's
you've
the
already
best kept
graduated
secret. We have graduated 2 cohorts. This spring is our 3rd cohort. We'll graduate our 3rd group of students in this program this spring.
So there are some potential testimonials there.
There are some amazing testimonials, like this one here that was already featured, where he said, I would have never done this degree. I found the best friends of my life. This changed my life. And this is a theme that almost every student that completed had. I would have never completed as quickly. It changed my life. It accelerated my life. It made the difference. And I think that's really what makes this so, it really is not just a fun, I developed this. This really is representing his name, the person who was profiled, his name was Ed Hernandez. This is about Ed. This is about that he got a degree. Not Ed your instructor, Ed Hernandez, that he received his degree quicker than he would have, made friends he would have never made, and really, it really did change his life.
Do you have any multimedia resources, like any interviews with any of these students? I know you've got some printed stuff that somebody covered.
I have never thought about that till just now.
Oh.
That's a great idea.
Because that's what I was suggesting, if some of these students could get on tape, maybe they would recommend some sort of a social media or some sort of a web resource or something that's in non-print that can help. Now, a lot of my students are not able to put together a lot of these projects. What they're going to be doing is recommending what needs to be done, and then these will be passed on to, the print pieces will be passed on to maybe some of the other ones if there are students in the 104 class that can do this. They will put together printed pieces of that, but not necessarily web pages. If we can get something early enough and structured well enough that maybe we could get some of the web design students involved as part of their projects.
Or even if it was a print, though, even if it's a print, I can attach it as a PDF.
Yes.
Even if it's a print piece, I could still use that and just say, see attached link. I mean, again, this is, in a perfect high-tech, complete high-tech, it would all be seamless, but I would do a quick attachment.
Well, I want to
That would be
encourage some of my
terrific.
students this semester to get in and start doing some video. This is not a video class, but everybody can do video, and under certain circumstances, they can do some interviews and capture the essence of the message, create some components. Maybe it's not going to be polished, but part of the messaging. So that's why I was asking if you had anything done already that's on video or audio or anything that's non-print that the students can work for. And if not, then these are kind of assets that they could recommend, put together for you, maybe in some cases produce. Now at the end of the semester, they bring the client in and they'll do a presentation to the client, slides, the whole thing, and delivering some mock-ups, actual pieces that look like what they're recommending to do, with files that, for the most part, could be used. They might have to be prepped a little bit more, but could actually be used to reproduce those pieces. And so, in some instances, we've had someone who was involved in video, put together a little video. I don't know if it would have got used, but any resources like that, when they come to sit down and talk to you as a client, if you will bring those to the table and say, here's all these resources. I don't see why they couldn't do a really good job for you, because you have so much going already.
If you have video, folks, by the way, we always have right before the end of the semester, a pizza party to celebrate the end of the semester.
Well, we don't bribe our students, okay?
If you would like to have free food.
But we'll have to edit
and you
that
would
part
like to-
out and then send a secret email message about that so that they don't realize that
they're being, but I'm just saying, I think that's a terrific idea. I didn't even think about it. And Kevin Rayford is very active with YouTube, and he is one of the instructors of the program. And I should have had him do some YouTube videos. And I know that I encourage some students to do Facebook if they want to create their own Facebook page. That hasn't been done yet, just for the program, but that's another really terrific idea.
If you only had one thing that you got out of this at the end of the semester from the students, what would that be?
You mean as far as what I got from
Something
them?
you actually got that you could use. What's
I
top of
would
your
love
list?
to have one piece of paper that became a PDF file that professionally showed the CSN logo and portrayed the accelerated program. Ideally, I would also like to have something that I could put, if that was a PDF file, I could put that on the website so a prospective student, a current CSN student, could just click on that link and see something. Icing on the cake would be even more information about the program, or even more information that a student could see about the program. But if I had one simple accelerate your degree or complete your accelerated quickly, or one with a CSN logo, one file, that would be terrific.
That's what we want the students to do, is be able to distill it down into one page.
One